Alright, y'all, so I am glad that my little quail was okay. Feisty little thing, but okay. So I'm gonna talk to y'all about why I chose quails over chickens. So y'all know I've had a lot of chickens, okay, and I recently got rid of all my chickens because I want to do just quails. Now I have taken some notes because I know I will forget something, and I want y'all to know why it's easier to take care of quails than chickens and ducks. Now I'm still going to be getting some ducks because y'all already saw before. I harvest those, and you can harvest those in literally 7 weeks. Those are ducks I'm talking about. So I'll still do ducks, but as for chickens, I haven't decided if I will go back to get chickens, just because I really like the quail. Now, one thing that I know that is better when it comes to quails and chickens is their turnaround. Okay, you can harvest quail between 6 and 8 weeks. Okay, they are ready for you to harvest, eat right then, or put in the freezer. Also, their eggs are very nutritional. They are high in protein. Okay, high in protein. They are higher in protein than chicken eggs. Yes, they are small, and you need 2 or 3, maybe 4 eggs to equal 1 chicken egg, but they have a lot of benefits that chicken eggs don't have. So let's just go ahead and start with some of the reasons I say you should let me get to it. You should do quail. Now I already talked about was the quail eggs. That's one of the reasons. Quail eggs are so nutritious. They help with so many different things, and you can look up the benefits of a quail egg. Okay, it is, I mean, amazing. Okay, so the quail egg have the ability to improve vision, increase energy levels, boost metabolism, stimulate growth and repair, and treat allergies. Okay, now I'm not a doctor or anything like that. This is research that I have done, letting you know just some of the things that is good for, that the quail eggs are good for. All right, so that's the quail eggs. Number 2 is the quail meat. Okay, again, it is high in protein than that of a chicken. You can harvest it way sooner than you can a chicken, and it's just another way to make sure that you are being self-sufficient. The quail meat have a little gaminess to it, but nothing bad. I mean, it tastes better than chicken. Okay, and it's small, and one thing about it is you can harvest that meat. Like if you know you only want, 2 quails or whatever for the day, you can harvest it like in 5 minutes. Very simple to harvest, like 5 minutes, and there you go. You ain't got to worry about harvesting a lot of chickens and ducks and stuff like that at one time, and then you got to package it and you got to put it up. You get up and say, hey, I feel like having quail today. Quail is going to be on the menu today. Then you can go out there, count out who you want to harvest and this, that, and the other. Go ahead and harvest it and cook it, and there it goes. So number 2 was quail meat. Number 3 is the space requirement. You can raise quail in rabbit cages. I have raised quail in my garage, in small little rabbit cages or whatever. Right now I have like the best setup for me possible. I read out the so many different setups. This is the best one. So I have a 10 by 10 pen outside, dog kennel that y'all saw me in, walk-in dog kennel, and have it where they can't get out, with chicken wire around the outside because the holes is big, and it helps with the smell. It helps with not having so many quails in one area and then they're pooping, and it's just all there. It helps a lot, y'all, because they stink worse than chickens do if they are confined in a small area. Okay, if they are confined in a small area, then it's raunchy. Okay, it is raunchy, but they do not require, if you have an area for them. Now if you're keeping them in the garage or whatever and you have those trays, you need to clean that out at least 2 days, every 2 days. with me having them like that, I don't have to worry about it. Nature takes over and runs its course, and it, you know, go right into the ground, and that is fine. Okay, you're not stepping in nothing. Well, you out there, you're not stepping and sliding and stuff. It dries up quickly. Okay, quicker than chicken poop does. All right, so that's another thing. They require little space, very little space. Also, let me tell you, Copernicus quails are the ones that's mainly raised on homesteads, okay? Because you have like bob white quails and different type of quails. Some Copernicus quails consist of gold Copernicus, range Copernicus, fawn Copernicus, white Copernicus, and tuxedo Copernicus, okay? So you can look up different ones. The ones I like are feather sexable, and that's because I don't want to have to vent sex. my jumbo whites that I have out there that's laying those eggs that I picked up this morning, they are jumbo white Copernicus quails, okay? And I did have to vent sex them, and I had like over 30 of them, and I lost some when I got down after the surgery. I lost some, and then I had to get rid of a lot of them because they was male. So that batch was pretty much male. I have 6 females out there now. I had to take one out. Now I know it's all male females out there when it comes to those, but I had one male that was sneaking around, okay? So yeah, so I like the jumbo browns, and I do like jumbo whites, but the jumbo whites I do have to vent sex, okay? So that's when it comes. That one comes when it comes, you know, to the quails. Also, let me give y'all the measurements. Males range from 3.5 to 5 ounces, and females range from 4 to 6 ounces. Okay, that is mainly the size of a standard quail. But if you want to do jumbo quails, like I like the jumbo ones, they are the main ones that you would normally raise for meat. They have more meat, and they can get up to 14 ounces, okay? Keep in mind, quails fly kind of low, but they still can fly away. So anytime you're keeping quails, make sure they don't get out, okay? Because they are hard to catch sometimes. Sometimes I have to use a net to catch them, so just keep that in mind. So how to raise them? They say have 1 square feet per quail, okay? So you know, you can kind of do the math on that depending on how many quails you know tend on having, and then just go by the measurements of that. So next we are going to talk about feeding the quails, okay? So I had my quails on chicken feed when I had my chickens. And when I tell you, after today, seeing the eggs after I went back to my game bird feed, because I like to try stuff. But when I did quails before, I always did game bird feed. And now I have game bird feed because those are what I have. And when I get my ducks will be on game bird feed too. So that'll require me to only have to buy one type of feed, not chicken and game bird. And they require at least 30, well, some people give their quail less than 30%. I try to stick to 30%, okay, protein feed for them. Also, they will eat seeds and nuts, but you gotta make sure they got that protein to lay eggs. They also eat insects. These are some of the insects they eat: grasshopper, crickets, worms, spiders, bees, wasps, ants, roaches, caterpillars, moths, beetles, and mealworms. Okay, now let me tell y'all this. When I had quails before and I had them in the garage, they poop went down in a tray, and I couldn't figure out why maggots was in the tray. Well, I found out why. A fly lays eggs, and those eggs turns into maggots or worms, depending on whatever you want to call it, okay? It's a worm to me, and it's nasty. So the flies was coming in through the garage for the, you know, the poop or whatever that was in the tray. Once it got moist from them dripping water down and all that, it started maggots. And that was a reason why I got rid of them a couple of times until I could figure out a better solution. Now with them being out there in the open and stuff, don't have any problems. No maggots, no none of that. Everything is staying fairly dry. Not fairly, it's staying dry because it's hot. And everything like that. The feed is away from the water, so I don't have to worry about that. But I thought it was the feed at first, and kind of find out it's the eggs from the flies and the moisture that was going down in there. So that is one reason why I say it is important that if you keep them inside, you need to clean their trays or you'll have a disgusting mess. But keeping them outside in something is amazing. I love going out there picking up eggs. Okay, so they need that protein. They need that protein to be able to lay, and they need enough sunlight to be able to lay eggs too. So those are just another thing when it comes to feeding the quail. But like I say, my quails don't eat extremely a lot. So that feed lasts a long time. And right now I'm giving them the straight protein, but I do have scratch grain mixed into some feed, and I'm just going to be giving them the straight protein because I have the younger ones out there now. But when they get grown, you can mix some scratch grain in their feed. Just make sure they have that protein feed in there. I do put diatomaceous earth down in my coop. Everybody don't do it, but I do it because I want to keep away a lot of mites and stuff like that. If y'all saw, I put those down. Put the diatomaceous earth, food grade diatomaceous earth down on my quail when I first got them because I got them from somewhere else. Okay, so that's why I get on the feed, because I don't want the diatomaceous earth for me to put like worms and stuff down, and then the diatomaceous earth kind of like and they don't get to them, and it's like a whole big thing. So that's why I do it the way that I do it, and it works. The next thing, I think this number 5. I think it's number 5. They are quiet. Okay, the males have a little chirp to them. Okay, it's like a little quiver, like I don't know, it's a little something to them when they are crowing, I guess you could say. But other than that, they are quiet. They are quiet. If you don't have any males, nobody would know that you have quail in your backyard. They are quiet. You hear me? Quiet. And that's a good advantage in an emergency situation. You can have live food out in your backyard, and if don't nobody come in your backyard and you don't have no male quails back there making that crow sound, then nobody will know that you have quail back there. Nobody will know. They are very quiet, and I think that is a great advantage, okay, when it comes to being self-sufficient and not letting people know everything that you have. So yeah, I don't hear them at all. Next thing, number 6, is how fast they can reproduce. Okay, a quail egg normally takes 16 to 17, sometime up to 21 days to hatch. But around your 16-17 day mark, you should have quails hatching. Okay, then from there it takes 6 to 8 weeks before they reach the slaughter stage, where you can actually harvest your quail, butcher your quail, whatever you want to call it. 6 to 8 weeks. Within 6 to 8 weeks, you can go ahead and do that. Also, for a female quail, they begin to lay between the 6 and 8 week mark. So that is a big turnaround from the time that they born to the time that you can harvest. So you can keep reproducing very, very quickly. And I think that is really, really good to have meat and eggs. Okay. Next, number 7. They don't get sick much. And if a quail get hurt, it is very, very, very easy for them to heal. It's been, and I've heard some stories of how much quails have gotten hurt, whether they was fighting or something, their insides hanging out. You can push that back in and that quail will heal itself and go on. They very rarely get sick. Like, the chickens have so many different things that can happen and make them sick and stuff. Quails barely get sick. Okay, they barely get sick. They have less diseases that you have to deal with, and the hardiness. They are very cold tolerant, y'all. they can take some cold and it don't bother them a bit. But you still want to have them with shelter and stuff like that, some warmth if you can. But they can take a lot of cold, and they don't get sick much. Okay. Number 8, let me just say this. You can make money with raising quail. Quail is considered a delicacy, okay, in a lot of places. So if you have your license, your permits, and all that type of stuff that you may need for your state, you can make money off the eggs, and you can make money off the meat itself. Okay, so that is another thing that is a good thing about the quail if you decide to go that route. Okay, I feel like an emergency situation, people may not be seeing it now, but I feel like quail eggs, especially because of their benefits, will be good bartering items. Okay, even the quail itself, good bartering items. Okay, so that is, you can make a profit off in them, because like I say, they are considered a delicacy. Okay, you can make different type of meals and stuff like that that just give you, you know, you only need a little bit to give you that push that you need. One of the most important other reasons, and it's gonna be the last reason for me, is they are so friendly. They friendly. They'll end up running from you for anything. They are so friendly. They're family friendly, put it like that. So if you have kids and stuff, now I'm not saying all of them, because I don't want nobody to go out there and let their kids deal with them and they get polio or something like that, and then you be like, oh, you said they're friendly. They are, all the ones I've dealt with are friendly. Okay, they're friendly, they funny, and all that type of stuff. I'm working on getting some things, some shrubs and stuff like that in there, so they can have little places to hide, because they do like to hide and stuff like that. They don't have, and this is another thing, you don't have to get no perch or nothing like that for no quail. Quails, they stay and lay on the ground. That's where they're comfortable. They don't get up there like the chickens do and want to, you know, roost and all that type of stuff. They don't do that. They don't do that. You know, they stay low unless they feel like they need to fly, you know, and try to get away or something like that. They are very fun. Okay, so those are some of my reasons for I feel like the quail is the better option than the chicken. They're easy to handle, and it's just all around board, you know, just better. Okay, yes, it'll take so many of them to probably get the meat and stuff that you want, but that's if you just being greedy, because it's higher in protein. So that protein gonna fill you up. Okay, so I feel like for adult, 2 quails and some sides should be enough protein. Okay, we ain't talking about eating just to get, you know, stuffed. We talking about trying to make it in an emergency situation, having the calories that you need, the protein and stuff that you need without being greedy. Okay, and I think the quails is a lot better. Like I say, I love my chickens. I know the eggs are bigger, but going this route, especially with saving money on feed and stuff like that, because like I say, they eat, but they don't. Mine do not. I heard people say they eat a lot. I've heard a couple people say it, but the majority of people say they, you know, they eat less, and that's what I'm experiencing with mine. They eat less. Okay, that tray of food that y'all saw out there, I topped off that small one. That long one still had over half of the food in there, and I put that out there maybe about 2-3 days ago. And I just topped it off a little bit, and they got their water or whatever, and you see they laying some nice size eggs. Okay, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, if that was the chickens and many I had, that feed would have been gone. Okay, so but yeah, so I hope that helps y'all out with why I'm choosing quails. I had to go through the process of chickens. I did chickens for over a year to understand what I want, then what I like, and then I went through the several processes with the quails, and it just come down to the fact that quails for me are better to raise. It's so much pleasant, so more pleasant for me and easier for me to go out there and get eggs and yeah, if I want chicken eggs, I'll just buy chicken eggs at the store. But in an emergency situation, I ain't got no chicken eggs. I ain't gonna cry, because those quail eggs is much richer. Like I was telling you, they even better for baking and stuff, y'all, because they're so much richer, and they have less whites, so they have more of a yolk in there, which is a lot of, you know, protein. That's higher. That's why they're higher in protein, I feel like, than the chicken eggs, because they have a bigger yolk and less whites. Okay, so I hope this video helped y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all, and hit the notification bell so we notified each and every time that I upload a video. I hope it was educational, motivational, and inspirational for y'all. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, guys. Will y'all be safe? Okay, bye.